Alrighty. We should be good to go here any minute now. My voice is still quite raspy, but I am feeling a significantly large amount better as I was. Yeah, what am I saying? As compared to yesterday. So again, I apologize for that. My voice is completely out of it still. It's tracking a little bit behind as to where my actual sickness is. But we've got ourselves a pretty significant situation today. We've got a slight risk of severe weather across much of Dixie Alley. As a lot of you guys have been watching the channel here for a while, you might know that we have been waiting for this day for quite a good amount of time. We've got a 5% tornado probability in place from the Storm Prediction Center that goes all the way from Montgomery, Alabama, back to the Texas-Louisiana state line. And this is a pretty significant risk for not only a couple of tornadoes, but also big-time damaging winds. Maybe even a localized hail threat. We're going to talk about more of that later. But for right now, we've got to be very hyper specific as to the areas that we are watching because we've got a pretty potent supercell developing here just southwest of the Bayou Cyper Community Appalachia Village area. This is going to be just off to the east of Florian in Louisiana. This is south of Natchez and Natchitoches. This is going to be moving towards the west side of Colfax and Montgomery over the next several minutes. So if you guys are included in this tornado warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. This is going out for portions of extreme southern rural Natchitoches County. The reason that we went live now rather than a few minutes ago whenever this tornado warning was issued is because this supercell is becoming more dangerous by the second as it is absorbing more and more of these little cell mergers here out in front of this thing, and it has the possibility of producing a tornado within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So again, if you guys are out here in this area, it is vital that you take this warning seriously and make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows on the lowest floor possible. Again, this is kind of the beginning here of our big-time severe weather threat this evening, but we actually dealt with a pretty significant tornado event this morning across much of the southern half of Mississippi. A lot of these areas here are battered by not only significant tornadoes, but also flash flooding and damaging wind gusts. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later, but again, as of right now, watching Louisiana as some of these supercells finally start to become discrete. We've been watching this heavy to excessive rainfall come down across Dixie Alley all day. It's been kind of a mess to get any of these storms in their own environment that they can take advantage of, but we've finally done it. So hopefully we can see something go down here in a rural area with some nice terrain so we get some nice chaser footage, although it is Dixie, so that's a highly unlikely scenario. So we're going to watch this supercell here over the next several minutes. Again, we do have another supercell here just off to the northeast of the one that is currently tornado warned. This one technically is also in the tornado warning polygon, but it is not rotating nearly as intensely. I wouldn't be shocked to see that change if it can become discrete and detached from this secondary, or the primary supercell that we're watching, rather. But for right now, this storm over the Bayou Cyper Community Appalachia Village area directly is not as of much concern, unlike our supercell off to the southwest here. So, again, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It's good to see some of our usual viewers joining us once again. I hope you guys have had a great week. First week back to school for a lot of us, and it's been pretty brutal. I see your message there, Camp, about our supercell off to the west. I have noticed that now that our supercell's taken advantage of the cell mergers in that area, it has developed some broad rotation, at least, east of Florian, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Good call out. But, again, for right now, we are going to stay focused in on our supercell that is currently tornado warned for the most part. Again, this storm is going to be moving off to the east-northeast. I'm not going to be able to call out a lot of locations for this because, I mean, there aren't a lot of locations out here. Like, we don't have anything. We could, I suppose, point out, what is this? We can't even see the highway names on this Red Omega overlay. I think we're going to switch overlays this stream. I'll ask you guys which one we should use here in a little bit. But, again, really the only landmark that we can point out here is the Bayou Cyper Community Appalachia Village area, which, as of right now, is looking like it's going to stay to the south of this supercell's territory, but if you are in that area, I'd seek shelter just to be safe. Same can be said for Gorham. Again, Gorham is very technically in this tornado warning. Portions of the town are not, but I mean, it's not even a town. It's a unincorporated community here. I mean, they have a post office, so perhaps not, but it is going to be interesting to see how this progresses, given that this is in an exceptionally rural area. Again, perhaps one of the most rural parts of the state of Louisiana here. We are in the backwoods of western Louisiana. Um, as of right now, we're not really watching for any other significantly rotating supercells, and again, I don't expect that to change for the next several minutes, as this has not been a great storm mode, which is always has been and looks like it's going to continue to be the biggest problem with today's setup. We don't have discrete supercells other than the one that we are literally watching right now, so it's gonna be an interesting day. It really was quite a bigger bust event, and what's really interesting about that is this morning, again, we had that significant tornado event there across the southern half of Mississippi, partially due to the fact that there weren't as many storms, so they were a touch more discreet, but also, we still had decent instability out here, even though it was, 6 or, I can't even say that. I was going to say 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, but you can't do that anymore. So, even though it was, 6 to 8 a.m. whenever this tornado event took place for the most part, instability out here was still cranking even for the month of January. We were seeing those instability values still hit 1,000 to 2,000 across much of the southern half of the state, which is not a lot, but again, it's kind of just enough to get a severe weather event running, and, I mean, for January, that kind of is a lot, no matter what portion of the country you're talking about. So anyway. If lapse rates were around 7 Celsius per kilometer in both levels of the atmosphere, we would have had a moderate risk. I would have to heavily disagree with that. I mean, we're not seeing a moderate risk no matter how hard or how high the lapse rates are with this little instability. I shouldn't say that. I guess if, the lapse rates technically were 585, then yes, we would see a moderate risk. But, with just under 2,000 instability in a lot of the areas where we're actually going to have the potential for tornado warnings to be issued, it's really quite hard to get anything above a 10% hatch risk. It's extremely uncommon, and I don't think that lapse rates, well, yes, perhaps they were deciding factors to how this event would go. I don't think that they were necessarily the end-all be-all for this event. But yeah, I mean, lapse rates certainly were at least, at the very least, a moderately intense issue with today's setup. No doubt about that. Yeah, I think you'd be looking at a little bit more instability for this to be anything beyond a 10 hitched. For anybody wondering exact timings for this event, there's not a lot to see, because, I mean, it is really going to be a potentially all-day thing. There is not a single hour in the rest of the evening that will have the impossibility of bringing us a tornado or two. Literally anything can do it in this environment in terms of timing. It is all a matter as to where the discrete storms pop up. Again, the only reason, I gotta keep reiterating this, the only reason that we have this tornado warning right now in northern Louisiana is because this is a discrete supercell, and it's taking advantage of the couple of cell mergers that are out here. So, again, it is a pretty intense situation, but we are going to keep an eye out on it, and again, over the next several hours, we'll watch this event to continue to evolve. These, like, late winter, early spring Dixie events are always a on here, off here kind of situation. What I mean by that is, we have this tornado warning right now. If we had this and then nothing for the next 4 hours, and then, 12 more tornado warnings 4 hours later, I really wouldn't be too shocked. this is one of those events where something like that could happen, or it could be a consistent and constant thing if we see those supercells become discrete in a more widespread manner. I mean, it is really, again, all up to storm mode today. Yeah, they did go ahead and update that tornado warning there simply just to condense it. The voice cracks are still in full swing. So LA 117, the small corridor of the highway that was included in that, is no longer. So you guys have been given the all clear. 5 hatch kind of day, yeah. And it's interesting too, because I would almost say it's a bit above a 5, but again, it's not a 10. It is not a 10. It's really not even. I don't want to say it's not debatable, but it's going to be very hard to make the argument that this should have been a 10 by the time everything is said and done. That's what I was going to say, Twister. I was going to say it's like a 7.5 hatched. Because, I mean, it's just one of those things where this is potentially the least confidence that we've seen the SPC have in forecasting for a Dixie event in quite a long time. Now, the reason I say that is not because they're doing a bad job or they've, been all over the place with where they're putting their outlook, but because their outlook is legitimately everywhere. We've got a 2% tornado probability going across the entirety of Dixie. The entire, I suppose, except for Georgia and South Carolina, but you know what I mean. This is a risk that is spanning several hundred miles, probably even close to 1,000 miles if you measure it from edge to edge here. Let's see, we go all the way from Texas back into Georgia, just under, I guess, about 650 miles. And there's no way that we're seeing a widespread tornado threat across that entire area. Uh, I mean, they have really just went ahead and slammed down that risk for the entirety of Dixie just to play it safe. And again, I mean, that's the best move here. That's what I would do as well. I'm not dunking on the SPC in any way. It is incredibly hard to tell as to where our next tornado could be, because even as of this minute, we could see a tornado warning pop up in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, heck, even southern Arkansas has been kind of popping off over the past couple of hours. We haven't seen any tornado warnings yet in Arkansas, but we've gotten quite close a couple of times on the Louisiana-Arkansas state line. So we'll see what happens, but it's interesting. Again, that is what you will hear me say nonstop throughout this stream, most likely. Um, for anybody wondering, yes, again, we did have a couple of tornadoes and tornado warnings, a lot of tornado warnings out here in Mississippi this morning. The most significant tornado is likely the one that touched down near Columbia and Tylertown. You might recognize both of those names because both of those towns were hit by two separate tornadoes last year. Actually, three, technically, if you're including both of the Tylertown tornadoes. But Tylertown was tragically struck by one EF4 tornado and then another EF3 tornado within the same hour last year during the March 15th outbreak. And then Columbia also saw a beautiful but damaging tornado on the east side of town last year. So, pretty gnarly stuff. We also had a tornado near Carthage, Mississippi. This one also had a pretty interesting velocity signature. This has been confirmed to have maxed at EF0 intensity, though. And our tornado just off to the northwest of Laurel is also, again, reportedly very, very weak. We did have some minor roof damage along a home near Shady Lane, apparently. If you are just now tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country. It would really help me out. I really do appreciate all the support that we had on last night's stream. I mean, it was such a low quality stream for the standards here that we like to set, but you guys really enjoyed it, and that does make me happy to see. Again, I'm sorry, my voice is still very raspy, very worn. Hopefully that'll be much better by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then hopefully beginning of next week, because I want to get our bingo card stream out soon. So, again, donations are completely optional, but I will say they are very, very much appreciated, especially since we don't run ads on our streams anymore. So, That is, again, very, very greatly appreciated, and it helps me out more than I could ever truly express here on stream. That's why I never try to underplay my uh, gratefulness to a donation. But anyway, again, just watching this Supercell continue to chug along here. I haven't even mentioned yet, we do have PA Storm Trackers out in Louisiana right now. They are, let's see, they are near Clinton, Louisiana, which I believe is northern, like much further north than this tornado warning here. That is not Clinton, Louisiana. Clinton, Louisiana. No, I am completely wrong. They are in southeast Louisiana, so they positioned again. There really was no positioning today, but perhaps they, saw the tornado reports in southern Mississippi and decided that that was the environment to go for. And again, being a chaser during this event has to be misery, pure and utter misery. Because we have no idea what's going to happen, and we have no idea where it's going to happen, or if it's going to happen, as I've stated many times. And even if none of those things were true, it's Dixie, so chasers are always going to be miserable in a day like this. Alright, peace out, Twister. Thank you for tuning in. Just realized we're not even full screen. But, yeah, I mean, this supercell is now merged with the one on the backside that we were mentioning earlier. Peace out. And we are probably gonna see this thing cool off here for a little bit due to that, which is good. The voice cracks are, as I mentioned, in full swing. I do indeed remember you. Thank you for tuning in. Because we had another merger here on the backside. This thing could have easily kept chugging along there with that dangerous rotation. But it looks like hopefully we can see that slow down shortly. And again, that is literally our only storm, not only with a tornado warning, but that's our only storm with a severe warning in the entire country right now. We actually did have I don't even want to say low end, we had a decently significant damaging wind event up in portions of the Great Lakes region today, with several severe thunderstorm warnings being issued by the National Weather Services in Cleveland, Buffalo, and I don't know if I don't think there's one in between in Pennsylvania there, respectively. So, again, good on them for keeping up with that event. Our event in Illinois last night actually turned out to be a pretty significant damaging wind event. A lot of these reports have only come in between last stream and this one. And, I mean, we've got, nearly a dozen reports of wind damage here all across central and southern Illinois. Trees down, power lines down, damaging wind gusts recorded between 50 and 60 miles an hour consistently across a lot of these communities. And good call there, Sam. I didn't even notice that. We do have a new tornado warning now. This is an extension, surprisingly, for our supercell that we've been watching for a while. This is going to be for Montgomery. So if you're out here in Montgomery, Louisiana, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows in an interior room. Looks like we got a school out here, a post office, Dollar General. In very, very rural, poor areas, unfortunately. So it is entirely possible that there's not great construction quality out here in a lot of these sections of these states. Give me just a second. I'm gonna mute myself and turn off cam because I'm gonna blow my nose, and I can't imagine anybody would want to see that. So, uno momento. Take you away. Let's see. Sorry about that. We should be back now. Is this going to be a year where March and April pop off, or is it going to be a May year? I haven't been in meteorology long enough to know. That's not really one of those things that we can forecast for, at least as of right now. There's really no way of telling what months exactly are going to be the most intense in any given season. Dude, I sound so nasally now. Give me just a second, your chat. I'm gonna do something, yeah, I'm gonna blow my nose. It's probably not something we want to see on stream. Sorry about that. Again, I'm still a little sick, admittedly. And I just now realized the warnings are up twice on the overlay. I had no idea until now. Fix it. Alrighty. Yeah, it's not really one of those things that we can forecast for. We can forecast what areas might be the most intense in any given season, but months are extremely hard to predict. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I mean, what are you going to use to forecast for that? I guess would be my question. Like Enzo phase, I mean that's not going to give you a whole heck of a lot in terms of what time of year the event or events are going to happen. Oh my goodness, I'm so nasally. Not gonna lie, today should go 45 sig. All right. I'm assuming that's yeah sarcasm. I'm not trying to be disrespectful if it's not, but spin up violent tornadoes. Well, I guess I would disagree with that because spin up violent tornadoes are not something that we really ever see in Dixie throughout the winter. Uh, okay, you're playing. All right, my fault. You scared me there. Yesterday was a bust. I wouldn't say it was a bust. I mean, we had multiple tornadoes in Oklahoma, and we had a pretty significant damaging wind event in Illinois, which is kind of what we were expecting to happen. I guess maybe the tornado threat could have been a little bit more widespread, but at the same time, like it really wasn't an insanely high tornado threat. The planes were interesting, but we are seeing this supercell here take a more traditional tornadic thunderstorm shape, which is interesting given how close this cell merger is. Maybe it's going to take advantage of this. Well, the main risk area, according to the SPC, was the Central Plains. That's where the 5% was yesterday. Again, we're streaming on my bed again because my desk has Pokemon cards all over it for second channel stuff. That's my excuse there. It's like whenever you write things off as a business expense whenever you're doing. Okay. Hey, hold on. 2 days in a row? Beep, 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 beep. I don't get it. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm curious, do a lot of you guys think this should have been kept at a 5, or do we have some people who think it should have been a 10? I'm kind of interested. I mean, obviously, I've expressed several times that I'm closer to Team 5, but I can see the argument for 10, definitely. If I hatched. Interesting. I think a 10%, 5%, 5%, 5 hatched. I have mixed feelings about adding a 5 sig because I feel like most 5% have a conditional strong tornado threat. Well, I think that's the argument for adding it, but I understand what you're saying. Uh, it's kind of generally assumed with a 5, even though technically it's not a hatch risk, it's usually assumed that with a 5, there is a very low end threat, at least for a Sig Tor. 45%. What's up, Samuel? How's it going? 60 etched? Yep, for sure. I feel it. Anyway, I do think that they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire. They may just cancel it altogether at some point because this storm does not appear to have much longevity by its side at this point. So if you're out here in this area, remain in your safe spot for the next 10-15 minutes. But we have about got the all clear for you guys unless something big changes. And again, like, what else are we supposed to watch here? Um, like where? Again, PA Storm Trackers is out here in southeast Louisiana in the boot, tracking some of these higher instability storms. I think they should expand the slight risk more east. Well, I've got some phenomenal news for you. The day 2 slate risk here does include sections of eastern Dixie Alley. Not even really eastern Dixie Alley, this is kind of central Dixie Alley. We are in what I would consider to be western Dixie for today. So when I think of eastern Dixie Alley, I would think of like South Carolina, Georgia, sometimes southern North Carolina if I'm being generous. and then like the Florida Panhandle. The rest of Florida is its own thing. I don't know. What's your verdict, Sam? I've typed in Poplarville, Alabama, like multiple times, and it keeps bringing me to random locations in southern Louisiana, Mississippi. It's funny because those are the storms we were literally just watching. Oh, Mississippi, okay. Well, let's see here. Are you referring to the area here in the northwest section of Pearl River County? Gotcha. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's just not like there's no way it's gonna do something though. I would say because it's just not like even close to discreet. Unfortunately, for all the chasers out here, scan ago it looked better. Yeah. Uh, in this point, I would say we're probably just gonna wait for them to cancel this tornado warning, which I would imagine they do within the next several minutes, and then we might call it a day. Very short stream, and again, I like we may come back later just because again this very well could be an on again off event thing for the next several hours. And again, flash flooding is almost a guarantee for like 90% of our severe weather risk area today. Radar Omega, available on iOS and Android. Not a sponsor, but that would be pretty epic. It's never gonna happen, but that would be pretty epic. No, but it's most certainly the highest quality radar app on the market, in my opinion, as of right now. I just think it's like almost unconscionable. Like 10 years ago, this would be unfathomable. Because really, the folks on TV have honestly less uh, on their average, $100,000 setup than what we do on this little in your phone app for $9.99. Now, again, some of the stuff that we're using today, you need subscriptions for, but the base model is still much, much more advanced than 90% of the other radars on the market. In fact, I don't even, we haven't even used any of the Omega features that are subscription requiring other than the models today. Yeah, I mean, ARRR suggests storms may stay semi-discreet across the Louisiana-Mississippi state line area for the next couple of hours, so that may be our new spot to watch here. Alright, you might be behind on the stream, Jake, if you're talking about Poplarville. We were referencing Poplarville a while ago, so if you're seeing this, you might want to check if your stream's updated once you get to this part. In just a second here. I've got a witty comment to make. I'm such a jerk and I love it. Whoa! I don't know when this happened. So this happened today. I'm not sure what time though is what I mean. Alan, with the huge $25 donation. Let's get 50 Alan W's down in the chat. Alan, the GOAT, is, being goated again with the incredibly generous dono. I don't know if you're watching, Alan, but if so, thank you so much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Again, that is a huge, huge help to the channel. So, Alan, again, I know people don't enjoy it whenever I spend 30 minutes talking about one dono, but like the generosity that Alan has shown for this channel over the past several months, or like over a year now, is just insane. So again, let's spam up those W Allens down below, because that is incredibly generous by him there. So again, thank you so much, my dude. All right, that's enough W's. That's enough. Anyway, Alan, the goat. Thank you. He is in here. How epic. Very, very nice. Again, Alan, you are just insane. No, like you can put W Allen, like put W Allen. But wait, I like not. I know I said I okay. I said 50 times. That's kind of my fault. W's in the chat for Alan. You are you are insane. Gotta stay ahead on the weather. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for tuning in and all the support that you've given us over time. Again, you had some like ridiculously hugely generous donations over like the holiday season. I just gotta say, whenever Vince and I see things like that, I don't know if you realize this or not, but I mean that genuinely like helps out not just our streams and our channels, but our lives. Uh, and I don't want to get like you know personal and soft and emotional, but I mean it is just something that we will never forget. So again, Alan the Goat with the $25 dono, and again the huge generosity over Christmas break was insane. I really appreciate it, my dude. You're insane. Much love, and thank you for all the support. Um. So anyway, had a great year paying it forward. I appreciate it, my dude. I really do. You're the goat. Again, I am really almost shocked at this point that our tornado warning is still in effect for Montgomery. I suppose we're still seeing some broad rotation with the northern cell. Very broad. Purvis, Mississippi. Let's check it out. Yeah, I've been watching. Well, I guess you saw me watching, but we were watching these southern Mississippi areas of rotation earlier. I don't see how this could ever possibly produce in this storm mode. And I guess I shouldn't say possibly because it's possible, but I don't understand how those rotations are just like chilling there, given that they are surrounded by just the nastiest instability killers of all time and other storms, taking advantage of the little instability that's out there and stealing it. It's really interesting. I mean, again, we've got under 1,000 cape in a lot of these areas at the surface layer. Our shear has been like almost absurd, I would say, for a lot of Dixie throughout the entirety of the day, which is obviously what's carrying our event as a whole here. And our SRH, it's performed as to what the HRRR expected. Um, I mean, it has been quite impressive to say the least. But if anything, I would watch this sail south of Bogalusa, Louisiana, just now crossing the Mississippi state line near Sun in Louisiana. But yeah, I don't know. I saw Mr. Vincenzo is doing his thing. I don't know if he wants to call or not, because I imagine we have a lot of viewers, swapping between. So I'm not sure if he wants to FaceTime or what, but I would be down. Oh, didn't mean to do that. If somebody can do the work that I'm too lazy to do and let Vincent know that I'd be down to call, that would be greatly appreciated. That's phenomenal. Oh my goodness, they updated the tornado warning. They're keeping it. They're keeping it. I don't understand. What is this supposed to do? There's no mergers, there's no instability, there's no lapse rates, there's a terrible storm mode. What did. I mean, I suppose there's a little bit of instability. I thought it was a little bit less in northern Louisiana, but Kim, please don't send in false reports. It does not help. Let's see if our good friend Vincenzo will chat. We'll keep that up. So again, at this point, we're really not too concerned about this storm. I mean, it's a broadly rotating supercell at this point at best. And at worst, it is a cluster of heavy rain. Oh, he's ringing me. Or at least he says he is. I don't know, he could be lying, chat. I don't think so, though.
Hello?
Hello?
You can hear me, right?
Yep.
All right. How's the stream going?
Very nice.
Very good, very good. Um, did you read the warning or did you read the text on the new warning or the updated warning?
Now what am I supposed to be looking for here?
It says that they warned two areas rotation, one north of Montgomery, one south of Montgomery.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that sometimes whenever you got two super shells in one warning polygon.
Right.
Again, at this point, though, I'm really not very interested in either of these.
Yeah, I'm watching obviously our cells that are developing across southern Louisiana most.
What's good, Kevin? I didn't even see there.
Let me know how Davis's audio is in chat. Let me know if he's too loud or too quiet.
People usually tell me I'm too loud.
What?
Nothing. Inside joke.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Good to see you.
Sandwich? Yeah.
Has been issued.
Alright, new flash flood warning. We'll have to see where that's going out for, but
Is it the Texas one?
did you get the alert sound? I don't know.
No, I heard yours though. It's not the Texas one, and it's not the Mississippi one.
I'm gonna wait for
It's
it
not the Alabama
to
one.
pop up. It says it's in Texas.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh, wait, there it is.
oh,
There's the new one, yep.
new flash flood warning, including Longview, Texas. Here, this also includes Gladewater, East Mountain, White Oak, and Union Grove. We have a pretty strong line of storms moving in here from the west. So radar indicated flash flood warning expires in the next 3 hours. But this is for central Gregg County, west central Harrison, and south central Upshur County in northeastern Texas.
Yeah, I mean, that is an incredibly high DBZ band of precipitation there. I mean, certainly we've got some small hail in there, but I mean, that has got to be torrential rainfall. So if you guys are out there, Longview, Gladewater, White Oak, East Mountain, or Union Grove, make sure you are staying safe at the very least. Again, I mean, you want to avoid travel in a situation like this, but I know that's not always possible in, the rush hours. So just stay safe out there. Again, I'd recommend staying indoors, but
Yeah, that is a very strong line of storms. So power outages are also going to be possible with that.
checking in from Sullivan, Missouri. Welcome back. I know Sullivan, Missouri is not going to be in too much of a threat today, but yesterday you guys got hit by some drought busting
Flash
rain.
issued.
New flash flood warning. We just keep getting these left and right now. Not sure exactly where that's out for, so I'll have to wait.
Looks like it's in Mississippi. They got a new one there.
Yeah, Mississippi. So, yeah, this one is gonna be for our kind of Columbia area out here. So,
The new one, no, the
Columbia,
new one's for Hattiesburg.
Oh, okay. So, Hattiesburg, you are under a flash flood warning. This is gonna be for the next 2 hours here. 1 to 3 inches in 4 hours. Are our rainfall rates here. Flash flood radar indicated. So yeah. This is including northern Forest, southern Jones, and central Lamar counties. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make the flash flood warnings flash because I cannot find them.
Get it? Because they're flash flood warnings. See making Flash.
So that was a
Some high-level
very funny
comedy.
joke. We're here till Wednesday.
Okay, I guess on Wednesday we just die.
Oh well, we're here all week. That's what I
That
meant.
matters. I'm not too bullish on this setup either. Yeah, I mean, it's again, this is easily the most confusing event that we've seen so far this year, and I know that's saying almost incredibly nothing, but incredibly nothing. I know that's saying almost nothing, but this was again kind of our first uh bigger bust of the year, and it is it's not over by any means, but it's shaping up to be a significant underperformance as to what it could have been. Um, Now, again, it's not to say that it's been a complete failure. We again had several tornadoes this morning in southern Mississippi, but again, given that the event was all day long and we had the potential for tornadoes all day long if storms were in a decent mode and lapse rate stayed high enough, the fact that we've seen only, 3 or 4 tornadoes all day, it was a pretty good outcome. So
Good job keeping me up. I just got off the phone, so I was hoping to keep an eye on this all evening. Well, appreciate it, Andrew. Good. Gonna keep my eye on that storm forming south of our tornado warning. Let's see where that's at.
storm mode was destined to be slop. This morning it was rain shield supercell surprise. Um, I don't know. I guess I just don't necessarily agree that this event never had a upper echelon potential after the morning convection watch, and I'd say that the potential was hindered significantly, but I mean, I feel like if we had a more discreet mode today, we really could have seen something. Again, we weren't expecting a very discreet mode by any means, but I definitely don't think it was impossible that we could have seen something slightly higher upper echelon today. I have a cold, so that's what is up with my voice. Oh, is Vincent talking?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I appreciate all the support this stream, guys. If you're just now tuning in, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. You guys have really been enjoying the streams the past couple of days. Last night we hit 50 likes. Today, let's see what we're at. Probably close to 50. We're at 30. So thank you guys for all that support. I think nighttime might sheet things up. People have been saying that, and I don't necessarily disagree that there was a nighttime mode. I would say I disagree with the idea that it's going to be too much more potent than what today's potential was. The reason people are saying that we're going to have another mode overnight or another event overnight is because we are going to see some more convectional wash up from the Gulf of whatever. And that's going to be whenever our tornado threat kind of picks back up. Again, sheer content's going to be similar, actually going to be slightly lower than what we're seeing right now. Instability is also going to be similar, maybe slightly higher than what we're seeing right now, because it's in a little bit more of a southern area. So, yeah, we've got
What's up?
a, sorry, go ahead.
What's up, Blake's brother? Davis. Yes, he's in the call.
Yeah, we definitely got a mode tomorrow, there's no doubt about that. I don't necessarily see it being an impossibility for a couple of tornadoes, but I think that comes with some major caveats. The storm mode is not going to be discrete, it's going to be linear, which means we're probably going to need some decent SRH and instability to see too much. And instability is certainly not a great likelihood because it's going to be in the early morning hours. It's, again, going to be interesting, but I don't see any very significant tornado threat tomorrow by any means.
Yeah, I do think that there's still some potential with today's event, but again, if we do see something on the more significant side of things, it would happen really within the next couple hours. But so far, again, we really haven't had a whole lot. That was loud. News for thunderstorm warning. Clearly. Let's see where that's for.
How's Monroe gonna be overnight? Monroe's gonna be fun. You are in the area that's probably just gonna end up seeing a lot of heavy rain since you're so far north and storms are convecting so much up there. Flash flooding might be a concern, but severe weather is a no. That new sphere warning's out now.
Yeah, news for thunderstorm warning for Winfield and Atlanta, Louisiana. This is gonna be for quarter-sized hail, 60 mile per winds, and it does have the tornado possible tag. Um, so that means that they're likely gonna let this tornado warning expire again. Expires in the next 3 minutes. But there's still some rotation, so again, keep in mind that the storm does have the potential to produce tornado. A gnarly hook echo, actually, south of Atlanta. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the hook echo is interesting, but that it doesn't really correlate to rotation, it looks like in this instance. We do have a cell merger on the back side of this system that, or not system, this storm that could potentially enhance that rotation. It looks like they may reissue this tornado warning, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, scratch what I said earlier. Um, because the storm does still have the shot at, again, getting closer to produce a tornado. It's not really gotten, you know, very close yet, but it's trying to do something here, obviously.
Sam, out of everybody that could call that thing out, you? Alright, alright. Um,
What happens?
there was an interesting thing that Sam said.
Oh, I honestly think a tornado warning should be extended. Yeah, it's something like that. Again, could happen. Lots of inflow on this storm. We'll see what that cell merger does. Um, but at this point, again, Montgomery, you guys should be okay. In the next couple minutes, stay in your safe spot again for the next 5 minutes or so. But then you're gonna be good to go after that. But again, most of the rotation is kind of moved out of your area. Um, and again, that cell merger is not gonna do anything, obviously. So.
Hello, Genesis. Not sure what just happened. Give me a 1 in chat if you can still hear me, cause my something just disconnected. I don't know what it was. Alright, we're good.
Is going nuts in your stream.
Do what?
Oh. Is it just me or is chat going nuts in your stream?
Nuts for what?
Like, is it going super fast?
Yeah, yeah, we've had a lot of engagement the past couple of nights. It's the revival.
1.5.
Like the past 2 months, we've been averaging like 3 concurrent viewers, and we are back. Hopefully. Tornado warning's been allowed to
I,
expire without reissuance.
hmm,
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I've had like 5 to 10 people, which is around average, I'd say, for me.
Nice. By the way, chat, another goal for this year that wasn't mentioned in the 2026 goals video. I'm gonna try and make every stream at least 1 hour. I wanted to do that for most of the streams last year, but it just kind of looks bad uh on like the homepage if you click on my channel and you just see like a bunch of 20-minute streams. So we're gonna try and make every stream at least 1 to 2 hours at a minimum, which so far we've done.
Maybe they're waiting the cell merger to be over to consider a new warning. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think they're just kind of watching to see if this storm decides to start rotating again. There's nothing that's really concerning at this point. Um, there still definitely is some rotation trying to develop south of Atlanta, but it's nothing that's again crazy. Is EA Storm Tracker stream still up? Because when I checked in on them on Radar Mega, it said that they were losing connection.
Yeah, it's still good. And they have crossed the line into Mississippi, which is an
Oh,
interesting decision. Yeah, I know. My
Reed
back's kind of hurting.
Reed called Sigtor possible with this. It's wild.
Supposedly. But I mean, that doesn't really surprise anybody, I don't think, that he would say that. Not trying to spill too much controversy here, but this is the same guy that said April 2nd could have had 100 plus tornadoes. You know, I'm kidding. We love Reed here. But I will say it's not an uncommon practice for him to, just maybe overshoot a tornado threat sometimes.
Yeah, today was a very low confidence event, and again, we really don't have much at all at this point, but there still is a chance we see something later, but again, the chances for a significant day are going down a lot.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about that whole saga, Kevin. That was uh that was whenever we were like at our peak beef. How many tours did 4-2 manage? Definitely less than 100. No, but let's see here. We'll bring this up on the spot. Ag.
Yep. 20 people in Davis's stream.
Indeed.
Freiburger, no, we're talking about Reed.
Oh yeah. For some reason, DAT doesn't uh round up your tornado count. Can you
Haven't already mixed bone.
can you see
We were
that?
only two from 1.6K or 1.69K. But that also does mean that we're 12 away from 1,600 subscribers. So if we could somehow make that happen this stream, that would be amazing.
Is really interesting. Tornado archive is gone. Bruh. What happened?
Is it broken for you?
Try and pull up Tornado Archive. Um. Anyway, I was gonna say though, it's interesting because Tornado Archive has like put on and taken off some 2025 events several times, and I don't know why. Right now, I don't think they have any because whenever I try to do more info for my not April 2nd, my March 14th documentary that I'm gonna do, I was gonna look at tracks on Tornado Archive, but they're gone again. Like how you said it does this all the time, and then you proceed to say that you only saw it a few months ago was the last time. Sorry, Debate Davis came out for that one. Um, in all seriousness, though, at this point, we are probably not going to be here for another 20 minutes, and that's, again, probably going to be less, way less than that. I'm talking like 5 or 10 minutes, so we will, uh, we will see what happens here, but there's not much of a reason to keep going whenever we have no imminent tornado threat in any storm, or it doesn't even look like there's going to be any imminent tornado threat with any of the storms that we have right now within the next hour or two. But again, things are probably not going to continue to stay this tame for the rest of the evening. If I had to guess, as we said, it's off on with the event, and it's been that way all day. But one of the big peaks here could be our, 10, 11 p.m. event.
Yeah, we still have a chance to see something.
It's interesting because STP values are actually quite high for our overnight event.
I'm gonna look at surface analysis here. Mesoanalysis. Let's see.
We'll see how overnight goes, but for now it's bad. Yeah, we will. It's not impossible that we come back later tonight. I don't think I'd say it's like a 30-70. If I'm being entirely honest as to whether or not we come back tonight. But if something happens, we'll definitely be here. Maybe we'll come back and do the bingo stream tonight. Maybe we'll just do it tonight. If my
Ooh,
voice can
that'd be
recover.
fun.
I want my voice to recover because I want it to be another long form video as well. And I also want to recap the 2025 bingo card in that stream.
Yeah, SCP right now.
Now again, STP doesn't exactly account for storm modes, so
right. Let's see. Let's look at the HRRR here. This into your stream or into the view here. So let's see. Getting really debating if we're going to just do a huge stream and have to sit out the nothingness of the next couple hours until things pick up again. Or again, we kind of just end off here in a couple minutes and then come back if we need to. Because there is still again a pretty decent chance that this is really the only thing we see, but again, this is the let's look at the 22s, the HRRR latest 8 hour HRRR, and again it still does have some cells working into Mississippi and Alabama overnight, and then we get what looks to be like a severe squall line that kind of blows through Alabama and Georgia in the early morning hours.
yeah, Carrot, that's we'll talk about that. Yeah, I was listening to what Vincent was saying there, and again, it's looking like it's gonna be kind of a stay here for now, die off for a couple hours, and maybe come back later thing. But that later thing doesn't necessarily look all that interesting to me, if I'm being entirely honest. I know I said it could be one of the peaks of this event, but you got to remember the highest of a big low is still not very high. So, um, before I entirely let this go here, I want to mention we're very close to 40 likes, and we got a ton of people watching that have just now tuned in. So please, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could like the stream. Yeah, that was a good one, Kevin. Also, I wanted to draw your guys' attention to Poplarville, Mississippi. This storm that's kind of been off and on that we've referenced a couple times is now rotating decently strongly. I don't think it's going to produce a tornado, because again, it's not discrete by any means, but it is rotating broadly at the very least.
Where'd you say?
Just off to the southwest of White Sand, Mississippi. It was a little more impressive last scan, but and we got another area north of Poplarville as well that's decently intense. I don't know, Kevin, and people were saying that about Missouri as well. It was weird.
Ryan Shoal is right under that storm we were talking about. Let's see.
One like away, chat.
Storm Davis was talking about.
How's it going?
Hey, thank you so much, Andrew, for the $50 donation,
Wow.
dude. Actually crazy. Spam those W Andrews in the chat, and also for Alan earlier in the stream with the $15. You two have been actually crazy with the support. I don't know how to thank you guys enough. Are you still here, Davis?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah, the boys are ringing, trying to get it stopped.
Yeah, for some reason, somebody rang me like 30 times.
Yeah, I'm getting rang twice now.
I would love to call them, but again, I'm gonna have to end off here soon, whether or not something big happens, because I've got a basketball game tonight very soon that I have to go to, so.
Oh. New severe thunderstorm in Louisiana. Wait, no, they just updated it. Excuse me. You deserve it, man. Keeping folks safe. Thank you so much, dude. Again, those words mean a lot. Again, this is still a decently strong storm. It's just not in a good environment to rotate, super hard. And we haven't been noticing anything that is super concerning. So, again, nothing like deserves a tornado warning right now, but again, this storm has been spinning for a while now. I think John is crossing the Mississippi right now. Or no, he's not. I think I'm just... He is. Oh, yeah. Wait, no, he's not. Or maybe.
This is a crazy roller coaster. Thank you, Clark. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I've said this recently, but I don't plan on stopping for, quite a while. Not in the near future, at the very least.
New severe thunderstorm warning. According to the alert
A
sound.
new flash flood warning has been issued.
New flash flood warning as well.
We're in Huntsville, Alabama. Will we see any possible tornado? Not in Huntsville, you're way too far north for that, luckily, but some nice drought-busting rain is definitely possible. But you don't have any instability up there. What's up, Alden?
Another new flash. I'm trying to see where this is out for. It'd be Texas. We just got like 3. That's a
new flash flood warning has been issued.
I'm gonna say a new flash flood warning has been issued.
Getting the alert sound?
I don't have it on, so no.
Well, it beeped twice, so I don't know if that means
I've been having too many problems with that recently. Again, I'm very, very happy that Redbird made this system and the overlay looks really nice, but for some reason, for me at least, the sounds were glitching out. They'd go like 100 times for one storm. It was weird.
That's what's happening to me right now. I'm thinking I might turn it off for the stream just because it sounds bad, but I'll keep like the
A new
alert.
flash flood warning has been issued.
I just
I'm glad
realized
that's not only.
we've got this crazy thin layer of text here still. How do we get rid of that?
Okay, just for the stream, guys, I'm gonna be muting the alerts down so that you guys don't have to hear it just because it's the audio quality's not great. But you'll still, oh my gosh, you will still be able to see it come up on your screen, and I'll be able to hear it, so I'll read it, aloud at the same time. So there's really no change other than that you guys aren't gonna hear anymore. But it's still gonna be there, so.
Chad, I think I'm gonna end off my stream here because, as I said, I've got to go very shortly anyway. But for right now, I'm gonna call it quits, so there's nothing for me to do. Let's see if I can do a redirect to Vincent's stream. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do this so that you guys should automatically get sent to Vincent's stream once this one ends. You shouldn't have to search anything up. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna end off the stream here, chat. Thank you all for tuning in. And
Alrighty.
I will see you guys later. Peace out, Vincent.
Peace.
Goodbye. See you, chat.